Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is a sales report. I know, how exciting. Now, I did one last month and I thought, like, just continue it. And they're really easy and I like doing them. It's not to flex or anything like that, but I like other people's. I'm really nosy in other people's because I like seeing what other people have been selling. So yeah, with that in mind, please put down below what kind of sales you've had. Has it been good? Has it been bad? I know a lot of people had some pretty iffy days this month, whereas I did quite well at the end of the month. So at the beginning, it was very kind of like hit and miss. I was still making sales, but they were a bit kind of like ooh. And yeah, towards the end, the last 2 weeks, I did actually really well. So I'm just curious. I'm just interested. And if you want to vent off about eBay and everything, just please comment below. But yeah, this is just a average sales. But now it's not everything. I'm not going to put everything in, or else I'll be here all day. But yeah, it's just what's sold. So please enjoy. And yeah. Okay, so I'm going to start off with a couple of freebies. The first one on the left is the Thomas Train track. It was out of that mystery bag that I had. I think it was in November or October. But I basically got this bag. I said how much you want for it. He said £1 for the whole lot. I said, okay. I did see the Thomas Train thing on top, so I was like, I'm already in for a winner because it could be worth like £10 or something. Anyway, it wasn't. It was actually worth a little bit more. And I'd already sold something in the bag, so that's why I've kind of classed it as free. And I've already got like a couple of bundles made up, and yeah, so it basically cost nothing. And it went for £20.50p. The hat boxes, I've actually sold the hats that they came in, and they were separate, so these were just spare. I was going to throw them out, and my dad was like, no, just put them up online, you never know. Anyway, I'm glad I did, because they sold for £27.41. I actually saw another one in a charity shop, but they wanted a fiver for it, so I'm like, oh god, no thanks. And it was like a really small one. It wasn't like these cascading ones. The sleeping bag, I do really well with sleeping bags, particularly like Slumberlux ones. This one they wanted a fiver for, and it was so unusual and lovely. I thought, why not? And I'm glad I did, because it sold for £43.50. Okay, so I'm really chuffed about this sale. On the left, it's 2 bowls, and they are by Emma Bridgewater, and they're quite unusual, like seashell ones, and I got them for £1.50 each from the charity shop. And I thought I won't sell them separately. I put them together, and they sold. And they were on for a couple of weeks though. But yeah, £58.59. I'm just so pleased that they've gone, to be honest. Now I'm just going to move over to the far right. That's a recent pickup. Do you remember those curtains that I got from that charity shop? And it's a really expensive charity shop, but I thought, oh, these are really retro. And I didn't do any comp checks either. I just kind of bought them because it was at the end of the day. They were closing up. I thought, I'll get them. Anyway, they weren't the best, so I haven't made a hell of a lot of profit out of that, but I'm just glad that they've gone and I've got my money back. I think I'll probably make around 8 or 9 quid like profit off it. So yeah, the lampshade, I got a bundle of like, I think there was like 4 or 5. They were £3 each though. I got them in Buxton, and I've sold them. Oh god, I sold one on Etsy for 40 odd quid, and then I sold a pair, I think, on on eBay. So like I've been hitting about 30 odd pound. This one, someone sent me an offer, and I just said, yeah, just get it gone for what I paid for it, and the rest have already gone. So I'm quite happy with. Okay, these are a couple like recent sales. The Emma Bridgewater mug on the left, I got that in a really expensive charity shop for £1.50, and I don't know why, because there was loads of other mugs there that were selling for like £4, and they were like crap. But this one, I think they just mispriced it. But £21.11. The other 2 I got from the same person. It was like 3 for £1. I usually go to him on a Sunday straight away, so it works out about 33p each. And that's a Game of Thrones plush, and that went for £28.18. The Simpsons one went for £29.45, which is like a lunchbox kind of thing. So I'm really chuffed with these sales. The low value stuff that I think is low value ends up actually being quite good. So speaking of low value items, these ones kind of like, I think I've probably made around £9 on each of them. After fees and postage and everything. The Monster High doll I got in a bundle. They were like £2 each. The 33p one, that was a part of the like 3 for £1 thing. That sold for £15.49. I'm really surprised about that actually, but because it sold really quickly. And then the Tetley Tea ones, like, they're nothing extraordinary. I got them from a jumble sale, and I don't know if they're a 50p or a pound that I got them for, but the only thing I remember was the people that I got them from. They were so lovely. They were like a little old couple, and I was like, oh, so I thought I'll buy them off them. But yeah, and these sort of items, like, even though they're quite like low value items, they do add up. Like, if I can sell, like, say 4 or 5 of them in a day, then that kind of profit adds up, and that's kind of what my business has kind of been about, while I've been increasing the higher value items. Okay, this is kind of like a recent one, the atomic door hanger. Yeah, it sold. Basically, I got it for £2 at the charity shop, and it is sold right in the middle of what I was asking for. I was actually asking for £19.99, and I got an offer at £15 with the postage of £4.80. It's kind of bumped it back up, but that's kind of like the middling of what it goes for. Like, there's a load that I'd listed at £20 or £22. Because of how much I paid for it, I could ask for a little bit lower, and it went within a week. So I'm happy with that. It's gone. Made probably about £10 profit on that. The puffer jacket, it's a Harvey and Jones puffer jacket, and I got it from a jumble sale for £4. Yeah, and it's really lovely, and it's sold for £28.40. Again, even though it's out of season, it does sell. The Fortnum Mason basket, got another jumble sale. It was one of the only things there, actually. I got it for a £5. It's now sold for £30. It sold for £35 and then £4.85 postage. So it's decent, and that is like bang on what they kind of go for, so I'm happy with them. Okay, so I'm just going to start off with the big one. £101 and 9p. That is a video game called Advanced Guardian Heroes or something like that. I played it. I bought it like 4 or 5 years ago, and I played it and played through it and everything. It's all good. I paid £25. I think it was on a Facebook marketplace, and he sent it me and everything, and it was £25. It was quite cheap, and it comes with the manual. Anyway, I did comps recently, and it just goes to show how massive, well, just video games, but retro gaming has just spiked since like during lockdown, and even before lockdown, people were complaining it was too expensive. So now it's just gone insane. So yeah, get your retro video games out online. The second one, the lamp, that was from, it's an IKEA lamp. I can't remember how much I paid for it. I remember I got a bundle of stuff from the car boot, and this was one of them. I can't remember if it was either 50p, £2. I can't remember. I think I might have paid for a bundle. Yeah, so that's sold £19.85. Peter Rabbit is sealed. It's 2 little like Sylvanian family style flocked. What's it? I got that for the Oxfam, and like I said, I can't remember if I paid £1.75 or it might have been £2.75. I've forgotten. But either way, I've made £31.30. That went to, I think it went to Australia. That. Okay, so this is a lesson for charity shops. They don't know everything. Yeah, I got the cap at a charity shop, and it was one of the most expensive charity shops I've ever been in. It was ridiculous, like absolutely mad. And funnily enough, that charity shop has shut down. Oh, what a surprise. They priced everything too high, and they couldn't sell it. However, some things did slip through the net, and I got this cap. I got it for £1.10, and it is sold for £27.80. It's a Formula 1 cap, and that catamaran business, it doesn't exist anymore. That's why it's quite rare. The second one is, the middle one is a Ruth Langsdale top or Langston top. Yeah, it was on a £1 shelf at a charity shop. Again, they don't know everything. And it's sold for £21.30. Yeah, the little teddy, that was from a lady that I go to at the charity, at the car boot. She usually has like lots of toys and stuff. But yeah, and they work out like 20p. And it had tags on, and it sold for £21.51, which I'm proper chuffed with. Okay, the track, the Scale Electric track, that was actually, I had like 2 or 3, and yeah, they've all kind of like sold now. They've kind of like dropped. They're like, I put all 3 up on different, on like the listing, and they've on multiple listings, and they've kind of been just going off like one every other month or something like that. So I've had them for a while, but this was like the last one. It came in a bundle of stuff. Like I said, I put it as free because it's like, I didn't even know it was in the box at the time, these tracks. Anywho, yeah. So £17.29 is good. The Cartman one keyring, I got a load at the car boot, and they were like 50p each, and some of them still had tags. This is like the fourth one to sell. Not the same ones, they're all different. And yeah, 50p into 33.79. You know, you can't. That is like the best profit. It's like amazing. The shirt is a Robert Graham shirt. It's quite a boring Robert Graham shirt considering he's known for his Larry like patterns. I got this from a shop in Birmingham, and for £4, and it's finally sold. £33.62. Thank you. Okay, that bag is an M&S bag, and it's one of those old-fashioned kind of like Mary Poppins bag. Do not pass on these. If they are £5 or under, I'd pick it up. I mean, I've seen one in town for like £8, and I kind of was like, ooh, should I? But that's a bit too much for me, if I'm being honest. This was only £2, and so yeah, that's really good profit. The Space Invaders one, I've had that one for ages. I've actually used it. I played it a few times, but yeah, I only paid £1 for it. I might have paid £1.50 if I remember rightly. Anyhow, yeah, 23.25. I paid 50p each for these mugs, and they're Denby classic kind of like coffee mugs. Yeah, I think I had 6 altogether, and I've been selling them off at 2x2. And these ones were the rubbish ones because they had like little marks on like the outside. So 50p each and £16. I am happy with that. Okay, that teapot in the middle, I was like sure that was worth something, and it was £5. I was like, oh my god, I'll buy it. I'll buy it. Anyway, I bought it, and I figured out, I didn't figure out, I did the comp check after I'd been in the charity shop, and I realised it didn't actually sell for that much. However, I put it up at £25, and it sold outright. Like, what? I think it sold, like, the others were selling at like 15 to 20, and I was like, oh god. So, no, but I thought, no, it's really nice. It's got like all the bits to it. Sold it at £25 plus it. So there you go. Comps don't know everything. Put it up, and I would have been happy for it to go on at 20. But yeah, anyway, the bum bag that was £1.99 from the Oxfam, and it's like a retro kind of like branded one. I think it's Benzi, Benzi, something like that. Yeah, and that sold for £19.47. By the way, all these prices are inclusive of postage, by the way, so it probably went for about 15 plus postage. The Shaun the Sheep, that's one of those little pajama bag ones, and again, I can't remember how much I paid for it. I don't know if it was like 50p or £1. I put a safe bet of £2 on just in case, but it wouldn't. I would never have paid more than that. Anyway, yeah, it sold for £18.80 anyway. Okay, so this was at like the auction, these box full of cameras, and I think I checked them live on stream, and the majority of them do seem to be working. The other ones just need a plug to see if it actually does work, but there's 2 that actually work like fully, and they've got everything with them. This one was one of them. It was really good. The comps were really good, strong. I put it up for just under what everyone else was putting it. They were putting theirs up for like 75. I put mine up for 60 plus a lot of postage, and it's gone £68.50, which I'm happy with. Yeah, it worked out about £2 a camera. I think it was about 6 to 7, and it only cost me £8 plus the premium, which is about £2.50. So it's about £10.50 altogether. So it works out roughly around £2. The Fred Perry top, I think it was £2.99 if I remember rightly. It's kind of a recent one, so my memory's going. But yeah, it sold for £28.50. Okay, so I just want to go over like some of the things. I've done all the like items. This is like my total, my gross and my nets and everything. So altogether I sold £161. Sorry, I sold 161 items on eBay alone this month. That generated a turnover, so before I take everything away, of £3,478.87. Now remember, this is just eBay, it's not including any other selling platforms like Vinted, Depop, Etsy, anything like that. So yeah, that was across all my accounts. My average selling price ended up being £21.60, which is pretty good. I think if I'm going to aim above 20 like across my platforms, I mean one platform was like £19.80, another one was £24, so the average is, hopefully I'm trying to average over £20 per item. Okay, so you remember you've got to take your postage and your fees, you know these from your bank statements or the eBay reports, but also my cost of item, I've kind of worked out it's about £2 So about £2, well, estimate, it's like a guesstimation of £2. Like a lot of them were 33p or 20p, 50p, that kind of thing. But I do manage to get a couple of clothing which kind of balances it out. Yeah, and I think average is about £2. So yeah, all them together, you take that off the turnover, and for net profit, it's come to this month on eBay £2,013.61, which ain't bad. Now remember, I still have to pay taxes on that net profit, but I usually do that at the end of every quarter, or at the end of it. You know, you do it at the end of the year. I kind of tally it up at the end of every quarter, make sure I've got enough in a separate bank account. But I mean, even after taxes, I'm probably coming out with well over 30% more than what I was earning doing a 9 to 5 slave to the wage kind of job. I mean, I was working stupid hours. I was bringing in work home. Job satisfaction was like not there. Whereas like eBay, job satisfaction is like every time you sell something, which is every day, I feel a lot healthier and a lot more happier. And I'm getting paid more, which is amazing. Yeah, and I just want to give a shout out to Alan Starbuck, who I'm just going to put up his a message from last month. So I know that February is a shorter month and it's kind of still like lingering over Christmas, but like my sales last month were meh. They weren't like really bad, but they weren't like the best. And I made £1,673 and 23p net sales. So it's a remarkable kind of like increase. Well, I say remarkable. It's quite a good increase on this year, and I suppose it's like I do work, but I just want to shout out to Alan, who said this. And it's just like, it's little comments like this that make like kind of give me a boost. And it's like, great vlog, George. Here's some very good sales. Here's to increase sales in March. So I know it wasn't all Alan, but it does give me a boost. And I did kind of like work me bum off a little bit to try and do better. I mean, it's kind of an easy month to do better than the previous month, because obviously February's a lot shorter, but it is nice to kind of like get that kind of boost. Yeah, and I'm kind of glad that I did. Can you imagine if I didn't? It's like, how lazy am I? Anywho, yeah, that's everything. Thank you for watching and for listening to me kind of rattle on about sales. What did you sell? Did you do better than February? Please let me know. And yeah, like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.